like about these guys, they're low-key, very low-key. They stay here underneath the radar. Anyway, put your hands together for Mr. Jr Tshakoane.
Greetings, in the wonderful name of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'd just like to take a moment to thank everybody for coming here today. First and foremost, can you please give yourselves a round of applause by making it here safely? And smile. Nothing beats a smile. You know, one thing that I am very passionate about is people that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. And if I can just make someone smile, that makes me feel like I'm worth something. I wrote a letter to this individual who was opening this project in Khaya. And, you know, I said, but this is impossible. This guy, first and foremost, he's a billionaire. And I spoke to my father and he said, but why not? He's somebody. He might not be in this country, he might not be in this continent, but he's somebody and he's doing something in our own land. Write to him. Tell him what you want to do. So I put together my energy and I put down a piece of paper and I wrote a letter that was very, very much a letter that was like from the pit of my soul. And I cried it out and I poured it out and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. And after I wrote, I said, Dad, here's the letter. Do you know someone who we can, you know, contact? And he said, okay, Google something. And I Googled something. After Googling it, I found a foundation, right? And after writing the foundation, my father said, okay, I'll speak to the lady that you just found. And he spoke to her, and that lady spoke to somebody else, and that guy spoke to somebody else. All of a sudden, they're speaking to the person in the head office of that individual in London, and that person reads the letter, and then all of a sudden, that person writes back to us and says, hey, I really like your letter. I'm keen to give you 2 million rand worth of gym equipment, and I'll give you 500,000 rand to renovate the venue of your choice just to build this project. And the guy's name is Richard Branson. So, out of the blue, Richard Branson, who is the founder of a multi-billion-dollar company, is writing to me, little guy, 15-year-old Louis, sitting in East Rand, Johannesburg. And I'm like, whoa, this is massive. And after that, I mean, we get a whole team of people from Virgin coming to our house and saying, okay, we got to start this project. A year from now, on this date, this date, this date, this date, this is going to happen. And we're like, wow, this is amazing. And they're like, the reason why we chose you is because Richard Branson, when he started, he was 16 years old, and nobody believed in him. And I went to this project to many other entrepreneurs and businessmen in South Africa, but nobody cared. They were like, no, he's just 15, man. He's just Jr Tshakoane's son. You know, his father's got money, he can give it to him. You know, meanwhile, they don't know the situation in the house. But I decided, I said, you know what? Nothing is going to stop me from living my dream. And that's when it started, where I started getting this motivational, ambitious, driven, never say die type of spirit. And ever since then, it's worked for me and it's worked wonders. So a year, skip to that, we launched the gym with Richard Branson, and it's successful, and we get all the support from different people. I mean, even Aziz Kara, who was owning a soccer team, and he owns a very big multinational company. He sponsored the event. A lot of other guys sponsored many things. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the media. I mean, there was a news queue. I mean, if you're coming with Richard Branson, now all of a sudden BMW wants to give you a car to drive. So-and-so wants to pay for your school fees. So-and-so wants to give you a scholarship in the States. So-and-so wants to... All of a sudden, you get in a plethora of business. And everyone else in my family is doing the same thing, and it was working for them as well. And after that, I get a call from Lamborghini Johannesburg, and investment cars. And they're like, man, we like what you're doing. Would you like to come and just, you know, tell us about your story? So I get there, and they say, okay, let's go on the Lamborghini ride. I go on the Lamborghini ride. I'm like, whoa, this stuff is good. It's addictive. Let me go on this every day. If I could do this every day, you know how much points I'll get from my friends? Because at the time, right? We had gone from driving a Mercedes-Benz to school. And at school, we had like a system like this. Like when you drive at Eden Glen and you're coming in, everyone can see who's coming into the school, right? Your parents are dropping you off. They see who are the loaded kids and who are the broke kids and who are, that's how they talk. I mean, they're straight to you. You know, in school, you know when you get bullied and stuff like that. And you have to take so much pressure. And all of a sudden, we're driving now a box-shaped Volvo. Remember the white Volvo? We were driving a box-shaped Volvo. It was like a 1996 car. From driving the car of the day, to driving a car which was beaten up, barely going. It was like burning like 200 Rand fuel a day just to go to school and back. Because we had to sell the Benz in order to get the Volvo, right? So like, all of a sudden, people are looking at you and they're like, this whole family has gone down. And then next thing I come to school and I show my friends my business card and it says, Jr Tshakoane, marketing consultant at Lamborghini Johannesburg. And they're like, whoa. All of a sudden they're like, what? This guy now, he's not a one-hit wonder. He's not just working with Richard Branson. Now he's just like stepping on another level, you know. So at the same time I was working a different job. I started like going out to Sandton and like talking to everybody. And then I'll get a job at a technology company and I'll start selling phones, and at the same time I'm running my gym, and at the same time I'm consulting for Lamborghini. I started to develop the spirit of being able to do multiple things at the same time. And that's when networking started to build in.
I'm here at the Henley Business School for the Khaya FM and Nedbank Business Networking event. And I'm the president of Undercover Millionaires International. And what we do is we have a business networking company, which we host private meetings and seminars for aspiring millionaires and current millionaires, and a few billionaires now and then that we invite as special guests. I'm at the event, and at the event I was a keynote speaker. I appreciate the audience because I was sharing my story of how I started as an entrepreneur from the age of 16 and the trials and tribulations that I went through, some of the business lessons that I gained and the experience that I have from those encounters and those moments. I also managed to, as a result of those years, build certain relationships with mentors and with key individuals in business and in the corporate environment that allowed for many doors to open for me to be a business owner by the age of 16 and to work for very big companies, and to manage to be mentored by very successful entrepreneurs, and in such a way whereby it assisted me to have a successful business. So the aim of the event was to introduce people to the artwork and the science of networking and the power of networking. And the age of today is all about business, and business is about people, and people are about relationships. So if we can teach people how to nurture the relationships that they currently have with the people in their lives, they can be more successful in their businesses. So I'm very excited about the initiative that Standard Bank and Nedbank and Khaya FM have put together for today, and I wish them the best.
You can do it again.
Okay. I'm very excited about the initiative that Nedbank and Khaya FM are doing. I thank them very much for inviting me as a keynote speaker. I'm very honored and humbled by it. And anytime in the future where they feel like they need me, I'm more than welcome. My door's always open.
My next journey started here with this gentleman over here. His name is Khaya. Some of you might know him. Does anybody know him? You can raise your hand. Okay, go one person, two people. Khaya is someone who runs the biggest black-owned digital marketing agency in Africa. And when I read his story, I was like, this individual is the person I want to be like when I grow up. And then that's when I stepped into the whole thing of, I need a mentor. I need someone who's going to, apart from my father, I need different people who are going to reflect different aspects of my life that I want to achieve in the future. So I said, I want to be just like that guy, and I want to work for him. And I just started my media company, but I said, no, I'll do my job on the side and I'll work for this guy in the meantime. So I sent him a CV and I called him and I said, hey, my name is Jr Tshakoane, and I've owned a gym, and I'm showing off. I work for Lamborghini, and I've worked for a Swiss bank, and I know so and so, and I know so and so. Is like, okay, so I'm like, yeah, no, I want to work for your company. I want to, I want to design. I mean, my designs are really good. Can I send you my portfolio? He's like, yeah, you can send it, but it's okay. I don't think we need anyone like you because I've got about 30 people who are working for me currently and I've got more than enough designers. And I was like, drops the phone. I'm like, geez, like, my idol, my superhero, my go-to guy, now all of a sudden doesn't even want to talk to me. He's too busy for me. You know what I mean? And I'm like crushed. And I go back to God and I start praying and I say, God, one day is one day. One day is one day. You will make me to partner with this man. And he will see the true reflection of me. He hasn't met me, he doesn't know me yet, he doesn't know the character that I possess, the lifestyle that I've built. But I think one day, when your time is right, you will open that door. So I worked. I built up my company. And then came a situation where all of a sudden I've got too many friends, right? And people want to meet with me on a daily basis. They want to meet with me every single day. My meetings are back to back to back. And I decided, you know what? Guys, I can't meet everybody now. Like, honestly, let's make one day where everybody will meet at the end of the month. On the last Friday of every month, we'll meet. And I'm going to build a company, and I'm going to call it Undercover Millionaires. Then all of a sudden, there's this thing called Undercover Millionaires that is burst into the world. And the aim of Undercover Millionaires is that we wanted to unleash the potential of individuals, right? Because deep down in everybody who's sitting here, there's a dream that you have. There's a vision that you have that you want to see yourself visualizing or materializing or manifesting in the future, right? No one wants to be born and say, you know what, today I'm going to be the best failure I can be. Today, I'm going to break the law as many times as I want to break it. You know what I mean? People wake up saying, today I'm going to receive my breakthrough. Today I'm going to get my miracle. Today I'm going to get that tender. Today I'm going to get that contract. Today I'm going to be empowering other people. That's the aim.
I'm a business consultant. I've been in the consulting business in many countries in Europe, America, and South Africa for a number of years. I'm specialized in launching businesses based on new talent. And that is one of the ways that I've discovered, and I got connection with our presenter today, that Jr Tshakoane. We met more than a year ago, and we discussed how can we work together in launching a number of ideas. And that is a subject that makes me very excited to find young talent, to help with my experience, with my understanding of the world, with my understanding of the markets. I help them to understand themselves as business people, and I help them to launch a business model. I help them to find markets, and I help them to be successful in the market. And that is something that it's very rewarding. Sometimes it doesn't give enough money, but it's extremely rewarding. And I've done that in different countries, but my heart is in Africa. Not only South Africa, I've been in a number of countries across Africa. And I know that Africa is the continent of the future. I know I met so many talent in Africa. I've been in East Africa, in Kenya, I've been in West Africa, in Ghana, Nigeria, Gambia, and I keep on meeting young talent, and I feel so motivated to help them to succeed, to help them to create a business, to create a business model, to launch into the market, and to become successful into the market.
I'm now currently a president of Safa Ekurhuleni, and I'm the chairman of Undercover Millionaires, which is run by my sons. And I was very much pleased to see Junior leading it. I thought that I can speak fast. I will speak 7,000 words, but I've realized that he can speak 4,000 words, 400,000 words. He's deep into this business of Undercover Millionaires, where he does a lot of network, where he's educating various business people, and I would like this business to grow under the hand of God, because I exercise those principles because they grow up with respect and checking themselves whenever they are doing business, respecting people, respecting the business that they are doing. And I think God will add more value to their minds, more value to the business that they are doing. And I think, yes, they are flying high.
I'm head of communications for Undercover Millionaires. I had fun, met a lot of people actually. The overall outcome of the company, of the seminar, was actually quite great. I learned a lot. So what we basically do, we actually communicate with a lot of people. It's a business networking event. We socialize with a lot of people. It's more or less if you have a business and I have a business, it's more or less of what can you do for me and what can I do for you. We constantly try to motivate people, and our power circles are the main foundations of how to build people as a team. You know what I'm saying? As a human being, as you running a business. That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to build the economy. That's all we're trying to do. And yeah, it was great. My mentor was here. My father was here, King Louis Tshakoane, Louis Jr Tshakoane as the president. He did a good job at presenting at the seminar. He did a good job. I'm overall excited at whatever happened today.